first.
Can someone please read this out loud for me? Raise your hand, don't be shy. Go ahead, Hollis.
My dog's as smelly as dirty socks.
Is your dog really as smelly as dirty socks?
I don't have no.
Well, you have a dog?
No.
No. But how come a writer would write something like that? Let's take a guess.
Because they're both stinky.
Because they're both stinky, right? So, we're in the middle of our poetry unit. This is day 6, and we're going to continue with this other piece of language, and it can make up a poem. These sentences like this are funny because the way that the author puts the language together. And we're going to learn what to call these and how to pick them out and how to create our own. So this is a simile. Simile. It's almost spelled like smile, but not really. Because there's that extra little line. And a simile is a comparison of two things, just like Bert said, that can be similar or dissimilar, and it uses the word like or as. So what are we using in this one? As. You could also do something like this. So if I said I'm loud like a lion, am I really loud like a lion? Maybe sometimes. But not really, right?
No.
So that's effective because it sort of shows you that someone maybe is really, really, really loud. Whereas you wouldn't get the same feeling about that sentence if someone said, I'm loud, right? If you hear I'm loud like a lion, that's a little bit more intense. So we're going to hear some more of these, and this is the book that I would totally show you the whole thing of, but right now this is actually just a snippet of it from a class that is like a theater classroom, and they're going to read it for you, and you can listen to the great way that they read each simile, and you'll remember from day 1 when we learned about the proper way to share poetry. They do a really great job, and you'll see why.
Quick as a cricket by Audrey Wood, illustrated by Dawn Wood. I'm as quick as a cricket. I'm as slow as a snail. I'm as small as an ant. I'm as large as a whale. I'm as happy as a lark.
Okay, so the book continues, but I just wanted to show you the great way that they share that. Why is it so effective, the way that they share their poetry? Why do you think?
With modulated voices to
Right, so just like what we talked about on day 1, they're projecting, they're making those vital words sound really important, right? And they're almost acting with their voices. So that person said, I'm as big as a whale, right? So they're almost talking like they were a whale, if you could think in your head what a whale would sound like, if a whale could talk. So after this, I would go through and ask you guys a bunch of questions, and I would use these other great books like Muddy as a Duck Puddle. But right now, I want you all to close your eyes, and I want you to sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and when you find a simile using like or as, I want you to raise your hands. Don't cheat. Yeah, so sing out loud. So ready? 1, 2, 3. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, Exactly. So, like a diamond in the sky. It sounds so pretty, right? So you're not just saying, oh, the star looks pretty. It's like a diamond. That's how shiny it is. So, seems like you all got it, so I'm going to move on. And in this part of the lesson, I would open up a Word document and type up each of your simile examples. But for the atmosphere that we have today, I'll just ask that even on your little sheets that you're filling out right now, come up with your own simile, like the boy quick as a cricket, and think about a word that describes you, and then compare it to something else, like the whale, or like a lion, or like a smelly dog. But come up with your own. I'm going to give you like 2 minutes to do that, and write it down for me, and then we'll do something with it. So make it really good, because you're going to have to share it. And if you need help, you can ask me. If you don't need help, then you're really wicked smart. And you're awesome. What do you think? What are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Okay. And you can use like or as. Doesn't matter which one you want to use. Okay, so I'm just going to assume that you got it, pretty much. So the way that I would do this, if I really had first graders, is at the bottom of each page I would type up a little document and write their simile, and then they get to draw a picture, that represents that simile. And then I'm going to put it all together in a big book, and we're going to read it as a class. Each kid gets to read their own and act it out with the proper way to bring out poetry. And then we'll get to see how, put all together, they sort of create their own little poem. So the way that I'll do this with you guys is I'm just going to go around the room, and we'll go in this order, like squiggle, so like that. And we're just going to go one at a time and say/act out with your voice. You don't have to get up and really act like a lion or anything. And we're going to create a little oral poem. So if you got your similes, everyone have it? Yeah? So this is like our class poem describing our class. So you're going to go first, and then Bert, and then you, and then you, and then you, and then you, and then you. Okay? All right, go ahead.
I hope I did it right.
You did it. You did it fine.
Todd is like a cat purring.
Oh, me? I'm as strong as a T-Rex.
No, sorry. I didn't get the squiggle. She was as tired as a lazy old dog. I was happy as a clam.
Quiet as a whisper. As harmless as a dove.
And as twitchy as a bunny.
I love it. So we're all totally different. So you all picked totally different subjects that describe you. So that's awesome. So today we learned the definition of a simile, and we saw a bunch of examples, and then we created our own, and we sort of saw how even if they're unrelated similes, put all together, they sound like a little poem. So our next class is going to continue our poetry unit. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yay!